for joining. And so today we'll be having a day 3 session, right? Git day 3 session. Now, before I get into the day 3 session, like I want to quickly recap on what we did on the last class or in the previous session, right? So basically, we just started understanding something on the Git side. It means that we try to understand the overflow of the Git, right? What is an overflow means actually? Suppose you install a Git any one of the server. Suppose here, uh, you could see that in my last session, right? What I did, I just try to create some three servers actually, right? So this three instance, basically I choose the Linux, Amazon Linux itself, but you can choose anything. You can choose the Red Hat or CentOS or Ubuntu or any machine you can choose for installing the Git and working on the Git, right? So it doesn't matter actually, whichever. You can even choose Windows also to work or Mac OS also, because Git is a platform independent and it can work on any operating system. Now, these machines, why I allocated? Because like I want to make sure that in one of the server, it acts like a Git server where the Git server is running. So what is a Git server? It is something like a whatever you have a GitHub, right? Same thing, same similarly, you are setting the Git server on your premises. It means that you are locally setting up your Git server. You are not dependent upon the GitHub. Later we will see what is GitHub or what is the difference between GitHub and this Git server. We will discuss later. But as of now, you think that okay, your Git server is there in your office. It is there in your on premises. It is you're not using the default GitHub, right? So apart from this server, you have two more servers, which is Git client and Git client 2. These are like a users or these are like a developers. You can understand as a developers. So he is a developer one and he is developer two. So both are having different machines. So whatever the code which they are developing, right, like developer one and developer two, whatever this they code they are developing for the project, that finally at the end of the day they are going to push into the Git server. So Git server will act like a remote repository. So Git server will act like a remote repository. Git server will act as a remote repository. Now, in each and every client machine, in each and every client or each and every developer machine where they have installed the Git and all, right? So there, whatever the changes which he's doing, no, he has to first commit in his local repository. So Git client or developer server or developer machine will have his local repository. So as the name says, local means locally is maintaining a repository. It means that what are the file changes, file sets changes he's doing that. The versioning is maintained locally, right? Once all the changes has been done by the particular developer in his machine, right? He has to commit the changes or he has to commit the changes to the local repository. Once he commit the local repository, what happened? The versioning will get enabled, and finally the same developer or the user, he's going to push whatever it is in the local repository into the remote repository. So it means that here, whatever this client one, client two, or developer and developer two, they whatever the changes they are doing, they will try to do a push or they try to do the push of the code into the remote repository, which is nothing but your Git server. So in the last session, what we discussed, right? We discussed that we have set up the on-premises Git server. On-premises means locally you have set up the Git server in your company or in your office actually, right? So you're not dependent upon the GitHub, and and we are having this two machines which act like a developer one or developer two or client one or client two, or this act like a users. Okay, and we have chosen T2 Micro and we have installed the Linux Amazon Linux as a operating system which we have did. And finally, after no after creating or launching these three servers, what we did, we tried to install the Git package, right? All these three machines are having a Git package, sir. Okay, so now let me do one thing. What I will do now, before proceeding to the other topic of for today, is let me recap of whatever the things which I did in the last session. I'll just give a quick no like recap of whatever we did with an example. Okay, so let me do one thing, guys. Let me log into the servers now. So I log into the Git server. So this is my Git server. So at any point of time, guys, if you're not understanding, please stop me in between and just ask me whatever the doubts you have. Don't go without understanding anything further. So you could see that the Git is installed. See, if I execute git-fn version, and you remember, like I had installed the Git with the help of a yum install git-y. This is the command I had used it, right? So you have to remember this command. Okay. Now, so let me log into the Git server one. Git client one. Sorry, Git client one. And you know that, guys, you know that I had reset the password for the root also, right? I had given the password as a root for the root user. I had password has set as I remember it is Red Hat actually, even for the client too also. So let me do one thing. Let me log in directly instead of. So I'll copy the public IP. I'll copy it. See, I'll open the putty session. I will just do it. I need not to give any auth and all. Why? Because I know the username is root and password is Red Hat. Directly I log into this server. See root Red Hat. See, I'm able to log in. Yeah, I need to do some setting. I'll do setting now. Change the setting, go to the appearance, change font 14, change the color, background. See, we got it. So can I do the same thing for the Git client too? Yes, I'll do it. So Git client too, just copy the public IP, go it because I have set the root password. I will directly log in into the server. Root password is Red Hat. See, I have directly logged in. So I'll change the settings. Clear, guys? So everywhere the Git is installed. This you know very well. The last session also we did the same thing. Okay, Git is there. Fine, Git is there. Now, so very important thing. Sorry. So let us open MS Paint. Now, in the last session, what we did, right? We had, sorry, we just understood about how to how to set up on premises Git server. That's what we had in the last session actually, right? So you understood in the last session what we did, right? We had one Git server, which is not but the main Git server, and we had two more machine, which is known as a Git client one. This is Git client one. This is Git client two, right? So this is your Git server. So I'll just write it down, Git server, and this is your Git client one, and this is Git client two. Now, what we did, right? We executed some series of commands, sir, in the last session. So what are those series of commands? See, Git commands. Now, so we executed a command from the git init -fn there, correct? And after that, what we did here, this is your Git server. So in the Git server, you need to execute. So before the Git init, actually, basically, you need to first create a repository name. So I'll just say mkdir/project. Then what I did a cd to the slash project, right? And after that, what I did, once I get into it, now I have to enable the Git versioning. So I have to execute a command git init -fn bear. So in the always in the Git server side, you should always execute this command git init -fn bear, right? After doing that, what you will do, right? So now what happened, right? Your Git server is ready, where it'll accept any kind of a versioning which has been sent by the client one or client two. If client one or a client two, or the developer one or developer two, they want to send their code changes, so Git server will allow, right? And you also remember that whenever the Git client one or client two, if they are connecting to the server, basically what happened, right? There has to be a passwordless communication should happen. It means that whatever the SSH key, public key, which has been created, right, by the Git client one, client two, you remember, right? Had executed SSH keygen, SSH-keygen, and I had execute this command. And after I execute this command, what I did, right? I had copied the content of id underscore rsa.pub. this file content, what I did, right? I had copied into this server side under the SSH.ssh. There is authorized key file is there. I'll show you that file. In that file, what I did, right? I copied the Git client once id_rsa.pub content into this file. Similarly, the Git client one has to execute the command ss-keygen. Once he executes this command, it will create some public and private key. So what again you have to do? You have to go to the SS directory of your clients.sss. Under that, you have the file known as id_rsa.pub. Correct? That content again you need to copy from the Git client 2 and you need to paste it under the authorized key of your Git_server. Once you do this, it means that you are now started doing the communication. It means that when you're doing it, it doesn't ask for any passwords. Right? So that is what we had discussed in the last session. Correct? So now, so once you execute the git init-fn bear under the Git server, it means that now the versioning is enabled. It means that Git versioning is enabled. Now in the Git client side, you will be executing some commands. Like what are the commands you will be executing? Basically, now you will try to write some code. So before you try to write the code, basically first you create one directory, mkdir something like /code1. Something you create a directory, you do a cd to the /code1, and then what you have to do, you have to just say git init. So once you do a git init, what you have to do is that actually you need to write one file. Basically, suppose under this code one, I'll say something like a cd dev project, something. I will write one file with a name. So under that, I will write some content, welcome to India, something like that. Then you will save the file. And after that, what is happening that once you do it, actually, basically, here each and every client will have a local. There are 3 stages are there. So what are those stages? Each and every client or each and every machine will have a 3 stages. One is nothing but your working area or the working tree. One is nothing but your staging area or the index area, and the last one is local repo. So this is nothing but a working tree or working area, you can say. This is nothing but your staging area, or you can say index tree, staging area, or you can call it as an index tree. Okay. And finally, we call it as a local repo or local repository. Okay, guys. Now, working tree or the working area is nothing but here under your cd code 1 directory, right? You are creating one file actually, dev project, because you are started writing a code for your project. Okay. And inside the code, inside the file, you are just writing only one line. But what happened? This file you have created, but this file is not under the versioning. It means that Git has not still tracked this file. It is still it acts as an untracked file. It means that still this file has not come into the Git versioning. So to do a Git versioning, what you have to do, you have to run some commands. What is that command? Git add and specify the file name like dev project. So once you do it, what happened, right? Here that file is there. What is that file? Dev project. You are under cd under the code 1 directory. Under the code 1 directory, what you did, you have created one file, dev project. You have written some content into the file, and finally you have shared that file. Now, still this file, it is there in a working tree only. This file should be moved to the staging area. To move to the staging area, you need to use git add command. You have to run a command, the git add. So what you have to do, sitting here, you have to run a command git add and specify the file name, dev project. So once you do it, what happened, right? This file will be under staging area. This file dev project will be under staging area. Okay, it means that whenever you want to enable the versioning, first you need to move the file from the working tree to the staging area or not an index tree. Both are same, sir. You can use interchangeably. Some people call it the staging area, some people call it the index tree. Both are same actually. So they'll be using interchangeably. So once this file is moved from your working tree or working area to the staging area, so it means that now this file is ready to get committed into your local repository. Still the versioning is not enabled. Okay, still the file is not enabled, but what the changes have happened that this file was under untracked this file, sorry, this file was under untracked. Now actually this file was earlier, before it went to staging area, the file was still untracked. Now this file, after doing git add and specify the file name, now this file has become tracked. That's what the difference is. It means that now this file has become tracked, means now this dev project file, no, this has come under the radar of Git. It means that Git has understood, okay, this is one file where I need to start, enabling the versioning of this file. Correct, guys? So if anybody asks you what is the difference between the working tail staging area or what is the difference between git add, means before the git add, the file will be untracked. Once you apply a git add and specify file name, that file will be moved to staging area, and that file will be started in the it will be under the track mode. It means that it has come under the radar of Git. That's what you have to say. Now, still what happens? Still the versioning is not enabled because finally this dev project file has to come into the local repository. So to come into the local repository, it means that you need to move that file from the staging area to the local repository. It means that you need to do a commit actually. So what is the command you have to do, sir? You have to run a command git. Hold a second. You have to run a command here git commit -m. -m means message. You need to specify some message. You need to specify some message. What is that message? Something like first commit, anything. Oh, you're doing the fresh first commit, and specify the file name like this. So once you do a git commit, what happened, right? This file dev project, now it will be moved to your, it will be moved to your local repository. So the dev project will be moved to the local repository. Now this file will be under versioning. It means that now Git will take care of versioning of this file actually. Now the versioning is enabled. Now the versioning is enabled. But one more thing I want to tell you, if you remember in the last class, before you try to do git commit onto this file, git commit expect some information like you need to provide the username or you need to provide the email ID. So to do that, you remember that we have execute some two commands: git config -fn global user dot name, something I given something like this, Rajesh. Git config -fn global user dot email ID. See, like this I had given. So before you do a git commit -m, you should make sure that you need to provide the username and you need to provide the email ID. So to provide it, you need to run these two commands. So once you execute these two commands, then you try to do a git commit -m, it will work. Okay, guys. So now what is happening that once you run it, it means that now the file has come into the local repository. It means that now the versioning is enabled. It has started now. So all these three things are happening in your local machine only. It means that the Git client only it is happening over here. It means that here locally your Git client is maintaining the versioning. Correct? Because you might do hundreds of changes to this file dev project, right, in a day. If suppose you take one line, you do one line of change of the file and you do push that file into the Git server, again Git server has to enable the versioning. Correct? Again you do one more changes, again you have to push to the file push the file to the Git server, again one more versioning. So why you are doing just doing one line of change and doing pushing to the main server? Don't do like that. Do whatever changes you want in your local machine only. In your local repository only you maintain all those changes. At the end of the day, once you say that okay, now I have finished all the changes whatever I required onto this file, finally you push that file. You do a git push to the file. Okay. So now once you execute this command git add dev project and execute the command git commit -m, before this command these two commands has to be executed. Fine. So now if you execute the git commit -m, now you could see that actually your file has been placed in a local repository. Right? Now to push this file from the local repository, to push this dev project file from your local repository to the remote repository that is on the Git server, first you need to make sure that actually that you need to execute some command. What is that command? So it means that first you need to your Git client has to understand, right? Okay, I need to under which path, right? I need to push that file. It doesn't know, right? So that's the reason what you have to do that under sitting under the Git client, you have to execute a command git remote add origin root at the rate, give the IP address of your Git server. This is the IP address. This is the private IP address, and then specify the path. Okay, under slash project. Yes. So first you need to run this command, sir. Here under the client one, you need to run this command. Once you run this command, now you have to do under the client one. Now you need to push this file, whatever the dev project, from your local repository to the remote repository. Now you have to run a command git push origin master. So these are the commands which we executed. Okay, guys. So you understood this staging, right? What are the stages? These are the three stages actually: working tree, staging area, and local repository, right? And whenever you want to make any of the file to be pushed from your system or from your machine, any file which you have created, right, or any project file which you have created, you need to push into the Git server. First you need to push into your local repository. So to push into the local repository, you have to do two stages: git add dev project, and you have to say git commit, right? Commit and specify the message. So these two commands you have to run internally within the client machine, so that your file comes under the versioning. It means that it will come into the local repository, and from the local repository the file has to be pushed to the Git server. So to push it, you have to run a command git push origin master, right? But before that, yes, you need to tell to your client, right, where you need to push it. It means that under which path you have to push it. So that's the reason you have to first run this command actually. Git remote add origin root at the rate, specify the IP address of the Git server. This is the IP address of the Git server, and specify the path of the project where the Git is enabled. It means that where the Git server has enabled is versioning. So this is the path actually, slash project, correct? So this is what we did it in the last session. So let us have a quick understanding over the example, like how things works here. Okay. So now, so let me go to the Git server now. This is my Git server, correct, guys? So I think it has hanged or something. Yeah, it is hanged. It is hanged. I think I have to log in again. Actually, I need to log in again. Sorry, guys, I have to log in again. Or else I will give the path. I'll give like this. I logged into the Git server. Fine. So I have a Git client also. So I need to copy the IP address. Okay. Open the server. Yes. Okay. Root. Red Hat is a password. Yes. Oh, last server. So this is Git client 2 actually. This is a developer 2. Okay. So this is the Git server, sir. Okay. And here this is the developer 1. So I have given instead of client 1, I have given developer 1, and he's a developer 2. Okay. So now what will happen that here under the Git server, I'll do one thing. Let me create one directory mkdir/project. I'll go across with the same thing what I've shown in the diagram actually. So I create a directory. Let me go inside the directory cd project and say ls, and now you just execute a command git init -fn bare bare. So you need to always make sure that you need to run this command. You need to run the command if you're making that as a machine as a server. So this is the Git server. I need to run this git init -fn bare. So now Git is enabled. If you say ls, you could see that these are all the configuration files for your Git. So this is always there will be the Git server. Okay. Coming back to here in the Git client. So here what I will do, I will create one directory, something like mkdir/code1. Okay. Get into the cd/code1 and say git init. So here you have enabled the Git, and let me clear the screen. And if I say ls, nothing is there. But if you execute the ls-a, you could see that it has created on directory .git. It means that whatever the changes which you are doing, this .git will maintain the information. Clear? So similarly, I'll go to the developer 2. Here also I'll create one directory mkds slash. I'll make it as something like code 2. Okay, I'll cd to the slash code 2. Fine, and then I'll say I'll say git init and say enter. So in all these 3 machines, I have enabled the Git, right? Right. So here, what I will do, the developer, so he will create one file. So let me take the same file like dev project or dev-project. Okay, I'll create a file, a dev project, and say enter. Okay. So now what I'll do before that, guys, let me do one thing. Let me first create a file by using touch command, touch dev-project. So I just created a file, guys. Okay, dev-project. Now uh, Git is enabled here, yes, because we execute the git init command. Let me check the status of the Git. How to check the status? I'll say git status. See, it says that actually dev project is a new file. Actually, it is an untracked file. As I said, in the untracked file means actually basically untracked means this file has not yet come into the Git radar. So Git has not identified this file as a versioned file. So it is still under untracked. So as I said, like whenever you want to make this untracked to the tracked file, then you need to add it actually. So what you have to do, guys, you have to just say git add and specify the file name. Enter. Now again you execute the git status command. So you will see that now this file has come under tracked now, right? Earlier it was untracked, right? And it is also showing it as a red color. It means that it is still under the untracked. Now you could see that there is something like it has turned into green color. So it's a new file. So now this file has come under the radar of your Git actually. Now it says that very clear that you want to make it commit, means actually you need to change this to be committed. It means that you need to commit it the file, right? So commit the file. So let me do one thing. Let me commit the empty file only. Okay. So git, okay, git commit -m. I'll say first commit, okay, and specify the file name. But you remember that, guys, as I said earlier, right? Before you do a commit, you need to set up this configuration actually. Okay. So let us do one thing. Let me do Control C. I will not execute this command first. I'll say git config. Okay. -fn global. Okay. -fn global. What is the user dot name? So I'll do one thing. I'll give the username as a developer one only. Developer one. Okay, guys. And say git config -fn global user dot email id is what email id? I'll say something like developer -1 @gmail.com, something, or mail.com, anything you can give. So here you have set up these two things. Why you have set up these two things, I will tell it in some time now. Okay, but you have to configure the global setting of username and the email id. Okay, guys. Now you do a git commit actually. Git commit -m first commit. So let me do the thing. Let me clear my screen. Git commit -m first commit and specify the file name dev-project. Now you could see that actually, that your first commit is completed. Now it says that actually your file has been committed. Now if you execute the git status, what will show? Nothing to commit. So working tree is clean. It means that already this file has been committed. Nothing more file to be committed now. So it means that now your file is in your local repository. Let's say it means that it is locally, it is maintaining this file with the some versioning. So now whenever you do a commit, you can watch carefully, guys, that always whenever you give a commit, it always gives some commit id. Some commit id will be given. Okay, guys, always whenever it does any commit, you are doing a locally, always it will try to maintain one commit id it will give, because it will track the each and every information about the change file or the modified with the help of a commit id. Okay, guys. Now what you have to do is that actually that You can even do like this, or you can even run a git log command and say enter. See, now you could see that actually this is the commit ID. So, and now you could see that who is the author. Author is a developer one. What is his email ID? Developer-@gmail ID. It is maintaining the timestamp also at what time it committed, as well as whatever the commit message what you have provided, right? That is maintained. So to maintain the information about the particular commit, right? It requires this username and it requires the email ID, sir. That's the reason you will always give git config -f global you need to provide, because internally within your local repository it has to maintain the information about that particular commit. So for the commit, it expects minimum information like who is the author and what is the email ID, and obviously it will take the date and timestamp, and also it maintains the information about the commit information. So to maintain internally by the local repository, it always requires this configuration to be set up. That's the reason we need to always do this. Before we do the commit, we should always configure the username and the email ID, right? So that's the reason we are doing it. Now what is happening that now fine, now what is happening that you are having a file in your developer one machine or in your client one machine. Now you need to push this file from here to your git server. So to do that, under your git developer one machine, what you have to run, execute a command. First you have to say git remote add origin root @ specify your server IP address. This is a server IP address, right? Git server IP address. // specify the complete path. So I know that it is a / project directory. So this is nothing but it is like a repository. Okay. It is like a repository which is maintained by your Git server, right? So I'll say enter. Okay. Now what you do that you have already given this information to your Git client, that is our developer one. Now you can do a git push origin master. See, now you have pushed the you have pushed whatever it is there in your local repository to the remote repository. You come back to into the Git server. Now if you execute the git log command here, see, it shows that actually, so some developer one has committed the information, and you could see that actually, and this is the time he has committed, and this is the message he has committed. It means that now your Git server will maintain whatever the changes is done by this developer one or client one. It maintains that information. Correct, sir? But one more thing, sir, I want to tell you here. Now, very important information, sir. Now, what the Git will do, Git client one or developer one is doing, right? He is doing a commit actually. Correct, guys? He is doing the commit like this. First commit like this, and specify the file name like dev-project, right? Now, when he's doing it actually, when he committed it, guys, basically what happened, right? The Git has given some commit ID, like some commit ID, like 111, something commit ID it has given to it. Internet has given to it. Fine. Now it has given some commit ID. Now, when you're trying to do this, whatever you are having in a local repository, you're trying to push it with the help of a git push command. So what you did, right? You did a git. What you did, guys? You want to push into your remote repository. What you do? You did a git push origin master. When you pushed it, whatever the file you had here, right? Whatever the file you had, that file also has been moved from it has been moved from your client machine to the Git server machine, right? It has moved from your local repository to the remote repository. So when it has moved, even the commit ID also has moved, sir. Even the commit also has moved. That's the reason. See, if you come over here, can you see git log? If you execute the git log command, can you see the commit ID 0A63B? Just see the first letter and even the last letter, right? 5C39C. And if you see the server side, can you see the same commit ID? It means that it has transferred the file along with the commit ID also. So it means that whenever it is or pushing the code, it's not only the code which is getting pushed from the local repository to remote repository, even the commit ID is also pushed from your local repository to remote repository. It means that when you're pushing the code, the Git server will not create a separate commit ID. No, Git server will never create any separate commit ID. It will not create any generate a separate commit ID. The commit ID which it has used by the client or now for that particular commit, right? Even that commit ID will also get pushed here. So that's the reason you can see over here, right? Whatever you're having a commit ID, same commit ID, even it is there in a server also. Clear, guys? Any doubts you have here at this point of time? If you don't have a doubts, well and fine, but you understood, right? Very clearly that even the commit ID will also be pushed from your local repository to the remote repository. Clear? Okay. Now, okay, fine. That's fine. So let me do one thing, sir. Let me add one more change actually. Okay. Now, sorry, what I did now, right? I have did only, I pushed the file, fine, but this is an empty file, right? You don't have any change, you don't have any content to the file at all. Okay, now I'll do one thing. Let me, the developer one, he will try to open the file now. Okay, he will just add one entry, so enter some line. Welcome to India, something. So now he has just did changes to the file now. So now what developer will do, he will say git status. See? Now it says that actually the changes are not committed. Already this file is under track now because he already did. I need not to do again git add, sir. Why I have to do git add and specify the file name? Already this file is started. It is under the versioning. But what happened? You have just created one content or you just added one line into the file. Now this file has been modified or changed actually. So you need to do a commit actually. To do a commit, what you have to do that you can say git commit -m second commit something. This is the message you have to mention and specify the file -project. Okay, you have committed. Now you have did locally in your machine. Now what he will do, he will execute the git log command. See, the first commit has been done. Okay, fine. A commit ID is provided. Now he has did a second commit. Now the second commit, a new ID, commit ID is provided. It means that for each and every modification, always a commit ID will be provided. Correct, guys? Now what he will do, now once he is done now he will want to push the code into your remote repository or in your Git server. So what he will do, the developer, he will try to do a git push origin master. Okay, he has pushed the code here. Now you come back, you come over here, and if you execute the command git log in your main Git server, now you could see that the second ID, second commit, you can see this message. So this is the same commit ID, see, whatever the commit ID which you can see over here in your second commit, right? Like if I execute the git log, you see db442. See here also same things are db442. See, clear, guys? So even the commit ID is also pushed along with the file. Correct, guys? Now, okay, fine. So now the developer one or the client one, he has did lot of changes to the file. There is one more client two is there or the developer two is there who has undergone the vacation. He is a developer two. He has went for the vacation. After 3-4 days, he will come back, right? So he knows that, oh, there is some project by name Dev project has been started by some client one or some developer one. So now the developer one will start not, he will not start writing immediately. So suppose he logged in today, he doesn't, he will not just try open the file or he will not directly write a code. First, he want to see what are the changes or what are the code he's been done by the developer one. I have to first check, right? So I have to first see, right, what are the code he has written, right? That I need to do, right? So what the developer will do, right? Developer one will try to, he will also try to create one directory mkdir/code2, right? And what he will do, he will try to do a git init. Before he want to do any changes to file, first he want to just pull the code. What are the latest changes which is been done by the developer one, right? That you need to do it, right? You need to check it, right? For that reason, what he will do, he will do a git pull origin master. But before he does a git pull origin master, first he has to clone it, sir. First he has to clone. Clone means he need to take a copy of the whole project from the Git server to here into your local path or into your slash code code2 directory. He want to do it. So that's the reason he had to say git clone root @ specify the IP address of your Git server This is IP address, right? And then and :/project. He has to do that. So once he does a clone, it means that a copy of the whole project or the whatever you have, right, that would be copied over here. And now what he will do, he will, once he does it, he could see that there's one project directory has been no, he could see that there's a project directory there. He'll go to the CD project directory, and then he will see when he does ls, he could see there's a file by name dev-project, correct? So he can view that project actually, right? So now, so let us see how it does. So we have already created a code2 directory, right? If you execute the pwd, I think it has gone. Sorry, I think there is some problem today. Okay, let me log into the git2. Oh, sorry, client2. Okay, let us check, because this should not go off. If this goes off, then it will be a problem actually, right? Red Hat. So I already created a directory by name cd code2, correct? So it's there. I think I've already enabled the Git versioning. Yeah, its Git is there. Now what I'll do, I'll say git clone root @ specify the IP address of the server, because the developer 2, he'll not start writing the code immediately, right? He has to first see what the developer 1 has did. For that, he has to first clone the whole project. So he'll say git clone root and specify the complete path of the project. Now you could see that he has cloned it, everything. Now if you do an ls, he could see that there's a project directory. He will get inside the project directory and he will say ls, and he could see that there's a dev project is there. Okay, he'll open this file, and he will see, okay, this is what the developer 1 has written. Okay, he'll understand it. Okay, so okay, fine, this is what he has written. Now what he'll do, that he will not try to write anything into this project file now, as of now, developer 2. But at the same time, what the developer 1 will do, he will open the same file. He'll say, he will add one more line, welcome to something like git session. So he will save the file, and what he will do, same way, he will do a git status. Okay, it has been modified, so I need to commit it. I will say git commit -m, something like third commit, right? Third commit, and specify the file name. He has committed, right? If he does a git log, he could see that he has did the third commit and a new commit ID has been given. Okay, now he will want to push this code to the git server. So he'll say git push origin master. Right, guys? He'll push it. Now he has already pushed, it has been success. Now what happened? The git server, what the git administrator will do, he will just execute a git log. Okay? So the third commit is there. Now what is happening, that the developer 2, what he will do, right? He will not directly start writing code. So this is the file, okay? He will not start writing code. So what he will do, right? Okay, let me know, before I try to write something into the project, let me first do a fresh pull of it actually. So what he does, right? He will do a git pull origin master. So let me see if there's any changes, latest changes are available in the server. So he will say git pull. Now you could see that, okay, already somebody has edited it. Okay, now it has happened. We have got the latest changes. So now he will do an ls. He'll open the dev project. Now he will say, okay, one more commit has been done by some user. Okay, so it means that before he started editing the developer 2, right, he has to always do a fresh, a pull actually. So git pull has to be done actually. So always, whenever he start writing, before he writing, he has to always do a git pull origin master. This is what he has to do, sir. Okay, guys. So this is what we had learned in the last session. So today we revisited again all the commands, right? Git push, git pull, git remote, add origin, git git init bear, and again git init. So all those commands again we have revisited, so that it will be like kind of a brush up for you guys. Okay. So now, so this is what we had discussed, right? So now, what is about today's agenda? We will see some more commands today. That's what we will do it today. So what we are going to do? Okay, let me do one thing, sir. Let me do one thing. So what is today's agenda means we will go through some more Git commands, okay, and its options, and also we will see today how to resolve the merge conflicts. So today we'll see how to resolve any kind of a merge conflict. What is this merge conflict? We'll see later. Okay. So this is what it is. Now let us do one thing. So let us play around some more things today. So what we will do, right? You know very well that there is a dev project is there, right? This is the project or this is a file which you have enabled the version, and this is the same file which you are pushing into the Git server. Okay. Now what the developer one will do? Okay. Developer one, he will try to create two directories. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me create something like mkdir src directory, fine, okay. Src directory is created. One more directory let us create mkdir test directory, okay. We'll create one more test directory, okay. He'll also create one more file, something like readme.txt file. Clear, sir? Now, so what the developer one has did, he has created two directories and he has created one file. Now let us see what is the output you'll get from the git status. Now when I execute the git status, so listen guys, listen this carefully what I'm saying now. So when I do a git status, you could see that actually it is only showing you that the readme.txt file is under untracked actually. But whereas it is not showing anything for the src and test. Why? Because like src and test are directories. Git never track the directories. It always track the files only. Or it always track the change file. It will not track any kind of a directory. See, that's the reason it will not track any kind of a directory. Now you will say, Rajesh, if there is any file inside this two directory. So let us see. So let me create some files under the source, under src. Let me create something like main.py, some Python file I'm creating. Okay. Let me create again in under the test, same main.py I'm creating. Okay. Now let me check now the git status. See, now it will be under untracked. See, earlier it was not under tracked because empty directory it will not track. It means that this directory is an empty. It will never track any directory. Yes, if the directory inside has some file, yeah, it will try to track it actually. But still, it is under untracked actually. Okay. So now what you will do that? Okay, now it has been untracked. Clear, guys? Okay. Now what he will do? What he is going to do? Okay, let us do one thing. Let me do a git status again. I'll do. Okay, let me do one thing, sir. Let me make only this file under from the untracked to track. So how to just do this file? I'll say git add and specify the file name. Right now, so now it has been under tracked. So how to check that git status? Now it has been under tracked file. Right now it is under tracked file. Okay, fine. So now what I will do that I'll go to the src directory less main.py file is there. Fine. Let me do one thing. Let me open that file. Okay. Let me open the file. Okay. Welcome to day 3 git session something. And I'll save this file. Right. So this file has been changed now. Right. This file has been changed now. If you do a git status, still it will be showing under untracked only. Right. Now what happened, right? I need to make it under track actually. You say git add src and specify the file name. Like this, you can make under track. Or if you do a git, not git, if I go to the cd src, can I do just this file git add main.py? Yes, you can do this way also. See, now if you do a git status, see, now it has been under tracked. So either you can do from the outside git add, or either you can go inside the directory and you can do it actually. So here what happened, like individually I am making from the untrack to the track actually. Now if you say that no Rajesh, I want to make everything as a track actually, everything from untrack to track, everything I want to do, then in that case you have to say git add specify hyphen capital A you have to give. It means that if you do it, what will happen that everything will be under track. See here now, git status. See, all the three files will be under track. Okay, guys. Okay. Now what will happen that, okay, now this you understood, right? All these three things, right? You have, if you can make it individually also, like for example, this file is there, sir. You want to say add, you can say like this also. Suppose assume that all these three files were untracked. You can do like this: git add readme.txt, src, main.py, test, main.py. You can do this way also, because you are making all these files under track. Or else you can just say git add hyphen capital A. Or else you can even do git dot A or git add dot. So git add dot is also same like a hyphen A. It will also make all the files under from untrack to track, whatever might be. If there is a directory, inside directory there are many other files are there, everything will be under track, sir. Okay, so now that's what. Okay, now if you do a git status, now you could see that everything is under track. Now what you say that, okay Rajesh, I have made everything is a track, fine, that is fine. Now you have made up, you have changed your mind. You say that Rajesh, I don't want to make this under track, I don't want to commit under the test, right? Main.py, I don't want to do commit. Basically I want to make it untracked, man. I don't want to do it. So what you have to do, you have to do a reset actually. So whenever you are actually making an attractor, you have to say git add. Whenever you don't want to, you want to you want to untrack it, then you have to basically call a reset actually. Okay guys, you have to do a reset. How to do a reset? See, git reset test main.py. Okay. Now you say git status, enter. See, now it has gone to the untrack. Correct guys? Now it has come to the untrack. You can either do a git reset, or else there is one more new command which has come now, git restore hyphen staged stage. Suppose now I want to do a untrack of this src main. So you can say src slash main.py. See, now you do a git status. See, now both have become untracked. Clear guys? Clear guys? Is it clear for you guys? Any doubts you have? Let me know guys if you have any doubts. I know I'm a little bit faster today, but you are able to understand everything, right? What I'm saying.
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. No.
So,
Fine.
Rajesh, one small thing like git restore and two commands you have told, right?
Hmm.
So, are there any difference or they both are
No, no,
like
both
ideal?
are same, sir. Reset is a very old no option for the Git. Restore is a new option which has been added recently. Both does the same job. No difference. Okay. Now, okay. Okay, guys. Now, so you have did a git restore, fine. Now you say that actually I need to even remove this file from the untracked also. I want to remove it, everything untracked also. So what you'll say, git restore src main.py uh, restore, right? Correct, no? Restore.
Staged hyphen stage.
No, no, it's it'll not. It'll work, sir. Wait, git status. Okay, git restore src src slash main.py. Has to remove, sir. Path specific SRC did not match any file known to Git actually. Okay. Uh, remove the changes in the working tree itself, like that. It should work actually. I'm not sure why it is not working. Git restore.
I think it only tracks the staged files.
Stage file, yeah. Just let me check, sir, or else we'll see, because yeah, it doesn't actually. Okay, so we'll see later about this, sir, actually. So if you want to remove completely from the staging also, right, then I think you have to run a command git reset actually -f hard actually. Okay, so now what I will do, if I execute the git status, okay, now I have to remove everything actually. I have to say git reset -f hard actually. So now if I execute git reset -f hard, when I say git status, okay, I got it, sir. I got it now. So what happened, right? This is under untracked, sir. These are the directories which are untracked actually. Okay. If I go to the CDSRC, you have a file. It's an empty file, or you have a file. The file you are having, correct. But what happened, right? You cannot no reset hard to a directory actually. Yeah, that's correct. So when I did git reset -f hard, you could see that this readme.txt file has gone now. So it means that it has resetted everything actually. But you want to even remove all these things, even the src and the test directory also. Then in that case, you have to run a git clean -fd forcibly and delete and specify the dot. Now everything is removed, sir. This is what I was saying. See, now everything is removed. So now what you have to do is that actually git reset -f hard. It cannot uh, it cannot touch the untracked files actually. It cannot touch the untracked files. These are untracked file actually. Suppose suppose you have tracked it actually. If you have tracked it and then you did a git reset -f hard, then it would have removed everything. So let us see even that also. Okay, let us see. It has gone now. So it has gone everything. Again, let me create a src directory, nkdir test directory. Okay, do a touch of src main.py. Okay, do a touch of a file, a new file under the main.py. Okay, so let me even create a readme.txt file. Now, if I do a git status, so it will show that actually it has untracked actually. Now what I will say, I will say git add, and I will say dot everything. So if I do a git status, now you could see that everything is under track now, all under track. Now if I do a git reset -f hard, now if I say git status, see, everything is gone actually. So this is what I was trying to tell. So if there are untracked actually, if there are untracked file directories actually, in that case you have to execute the command git clean -fd forcibly delete and specify everything whatever there. Then everything will be removed. Now you could see that if you do ls, so nothing is there. So your readme.txt src directory and test directory, everything is gone now. Correct, guys? Now, so this is what it is. Now, an interview question for most of you guys. So you need to get the information about what is the difference between git reset -f hard versus git reset -f soft. And also there is something like a git reset -f mixed actually. So this is one of the interview question they'll ask. So please get me the answer in the next class. Okay, it is very easy. I've told you about most of the things, but you have to only understand few things actually. Just you try to do a yourself experiment, you will get to know the information. Or else today I have already sent a link on this actually in our WhatsApp group, right? So you can see that, read that link, you will get to know about all these things. So this is one of the very important interview question they will ask. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, now. Okay, now, okay. Now, apart from this, actually, like for example, we did a lot of commit to the server and all in the Git servers, right? In the Git, if you execute the Git log, I think this is gone. There is some problem today, sir, with the servers. I think I have to increase the timeout actually. I want to increase the timeout. So let me check where to increase the timeout. So I've increased the timeout. Let's see, sir, where I have to increase the timeout. etc ssh ssd underscore config. Okay. Okay. Now I think it should not go down. Okay. So this is fine. Okay. I think even this server has gone down. No? Okay, this is also gone actually. Okay. So this is also PC SSH SSD underscore config. Okay. This is the Git server. This is a developer one. Okay, via etc SSH. Systemctl restart SSD. Okay, this is a developer one, and let me log into the developer two. Okay, guys. Now I think it should not go down. Okay. Now, so this is developer one, developer two, and this is a client machine. Correct. So now, so if you see in the Git server, right, you execute the Git log command. Correct, guys. Okay, nothing is there. No, we should be under project one, under the project. Now you execute the Git log. Now it will work. Okay. So these are the three commits which has been done earlier, right? Now I can even display this Git log with the help of, I can even display with the Git log like -FN one line. To say that Rajesh, if I execute this command, fine, I'm getting, but I don't want all this information, man. I want just one line information. I can say Git log -FN one line. In a very short description, it'll give. It will not give the complete commit ID. Only small 4-character commit ID will give, and he will sell that actually that your particularly your head is pointing to your third commit actually. So basically, what is happening is that actually there is something as a head actually. Head is something like it is a pointing. It is like a pointer to your latest commit actually. Like for example, if you say, you know, right, what the developer one did actually. Developer one did a lot of commits, right? The developer one did a lot of commits, right? So what is the commit he did initially? He did the first commit like this actually. He did like the first commit. So this is nothing but the first commit he did. Correct, guys? So as soon as you did a first commit, actually, a commit ID was created, as well as what happened, right? There is something like a pointer which got created, sir. A pointer actually got created, and that pointer we called as head actually. Head is basically a pointer to the latest commit actually. Now further, what the same developer one did, he did one more commit actually, and this he called it as a commit to, or the second commit. As soon as he did a second commit, okay, let me don't think so. Let me. This is a head actually. This is like a pointer actually. As soon as he said did a second commit, what happened to the pointer? Right, the pointer now it has moved from your first commit to the second commit like this actually. So now like this. Now again, what the developer did, right? He created one more. Did one more commit, which he called as third commit actually, right? Third commit. So now what happened, right? Now, as soon as it did a third commit, again what happened, right? This header, which is a pointer to the latest commit, right, it has moved to the third commit. So now you could see that if you do a git log actually, if you do git log, you could see that the head is actually pointing to the third commit. Correct, guys? Now this head is like a pointer, sir. Now, as you know that since Git is maintaining the versioning, Git is maintaining the versions, right? Git is maintaining the version. Git is maintaining the versioning. So always header will point to the latest commit. But always this head point to the latest commit. This latest will point to the latest commit. But because the Git is maintaining the versioning, and maintaining the versioning is maintaining the history. You can say that it is maintaining the history. So you can go back anywhere, right? Tomorrow you say, Rajesh, I had did some 100 commits, but I want to remember. I don't know what is the 50th commit I did. Oh, no problem, sir. You can take your head to any of that pointer. Oh, you can take to any of the pointer. Here, if you take, right, if you take your head to head pointer to that particular commit, right, you will see all the changes whatever you did. You will get to know about everything. That's the reason what happened. This head will always be like a pointer. You can scroll anywhere, sir. Actually, you can scroll anywhere, so that this is like a history or this is like a versioning. So that's the advantage of having a head actually. Clear, sir? So this is one of again an intro question. What is a head actually? So head is something like a pointer to the latest commit. But why exactly Git is maintaining this head? Because, right, if suppose in case the developers he want to check, oh, which is the particular commit, whatever the particular commit I did on the particular day. Suppose you did one commit 1 month back, you don't know what and all you did the changes. But today you want to see, okay, I want to rectify or I want to see what are the changes I did. You just simply take that head to that particular commit ID. Now it will show all the changes whatever you have did. Clear, sir? Right? Or else what you can do, guys, you can even do like this. You can say git log, and you can even say -p. See, this will tell you all the changes whatever the user has did. See, you could see here when I executed the git log -p. See in the third commit, see you did the changes to this file. See what are the lines you have added. See line number 1 you have added, from line number 2 you have added, and this is what you have added. See, plus means this is what you have added. See in the second commit, see you added this. In the first commit, nothing is there, it's empty. Clear, right? If you execute the git log -p, it will show you what will show you. It will show the difference between all the changes done in each and every commit. In the first commit, nothing is there. In the second commit, you just added this line. In the third commit, yeah, you added one more line. Clear, guys? So this is also a very good example, right? Very good usage of the git log with -p option, right? So in this way, a git administrator will also get to know like what are the changes is done by each and every commit, right? Correct? Okay. Now, okay. Now the very important things comes now. What is this merge conflict actually? Okay, what is this merge conflict? Like for example, we'll take one more, the same use case we'll take. Like we have a Git server and the developer 1 and developer 2. So what is a merge conflict actually? This is very important topic, sir. Like usually in industry they'll ask you, or you will, when you are working under the Git, right, you will come across with a lot of merge conflict because a lot of different developers, right, they will be committing the code at different point of time. Correct? So these are the two developers, right? We don't know, right, when they'll be committing the code changes, right? So whenever they're coming the code, they'll commit the code changes, right, into the Git server. Now, suppose assume that the developer one, he's been working for a week actually. He's doing a lot of commit to the Git server. Once he complete a task, maybe developer two might be in a vacation for 1 week, right? So what he will do, he will go once he comes back from the vacation. What he will try to do, he want to continue from the project where he had left, but he knows that there are many other developers are there who have already did a lot of commits into the Git server, right? So before he start doing any kind of a code changes in his local machine, he has to first run the git pull origin master. So once he did the git pull origin master, what are the latest changes which is there in the Git server, everything will be pulled from here to your local machine. So once he sees it actually, once he sees all the changes in the source code, then he will try to understand, okay, developer one has did these changes, developer three has did changes, developer four has did the changes. He will get to know every information. So after that only he will start writing a code. So the rule for to avoid any kind of a merge conflict, that before you do a code commit first, or before you start implementing or writing a new fresh code, first you do a git pull origin master. It means that first you try to get the latest commit or latest changes whatever is there in the server, right? First you take the pull from of that into a local machine. Once you get the complete changes, then only on top of that you start writing or you start editing your codes, right? So to understand this scenario in a very clearly, so what I would do, right, I will try to again open an MS Paint, the same stuff here. What I will do, that you are having a Git server, okay, he's a main Git server, and here you are having a developer one, he's a developer one, and he's a developer two, right? Developer two. So now what I will do, I'll do a, this is the Git server, okay, okay, and he is nothing but your developer one, and he is your developer two, right? Developer two, okay, is your developer two, correct? So now, so you know very well now that what this Git server will do, the main server, he will first again he will try to create a project directory, okay, project directory, right? After the project directory, you know very well that he do a git init hyphen there, right? He will first do, he'll get into the CD project, and then again he will do a git init hyphen there, right guys? Now, so git is enabled here. It means that okay, it's done. Now what developer one will do, developer one, he will try to create one project directory, or else he will create one developer one directory, send it to the developer one, and then again say git init. Clear guys? Once you do a git init, what he will do, right? He will try to create one file. Okay, something like he will create something index.html file, something he'll do. To create a file, what he will add a line, welcome to India, something, or welcome to India, or whatever he will do it, right? Welcome to India. That the code changes. He will write into this git init, sorry, index.html file, and then he will save that file. Once he save the file, he will do a git add, specify the file name, correct? And then he will try to do a git commit -m, first commit from developer one, and specify the file name. Once it does, he will try to push the code. Right, guys? So till here you have understood, right? This is the same thing what I have did earlier. Is a repetition of the same stuff. So similarly, what happened, right? The developer two, what he will do, no, he will try to create a directory, something developer two, cd to the /developer two. He knows very well that the developer one has already started this project, right? So what he will do, that instead of doing anything, first he will do a clone of the whole project, right? So here, guys, here I have not did anything like a git remote add and all. So that and all is already done. You have to consider that, right? Git remote add, specify that you have already did it actually, okay? So here he will do a clone of this project, whole project. So once he did the clone of every project, he will see under his home directory, under his slash developer directory, he will see that there is one project directory has been pulled actually, right, from the Git server. So he will do a CD to the project, right? And what will do that, he will see there's an index.html file is there. Now what is happening that he will start writing into the file. But before writing into the file, he will first do a git pull origin master. You want to just see if any other person has committed any code change. If it does it, if it shows that there is no more changes, it means that actually whatever the commit ID which is there, right, the same commit ID is still in this is there in the same Git server. It means that no more changes has been done to the index.html. It means that nobody has pushed, nobody has did any fresh push into the server. It means that it's the same thing. It is there. Now the Git developer 2 will start writing code into the index.html file. But when the conflict will happen, that actually that suppose the developer 2 has did the change. Suppose like once he opens the file, suppose he opens the file. Let me write it over here. Okay, vi. He'll open this file index.html file. He would see that there is some line already, something like welcome to India is already there, because this welcome to India has been done by developer 1. He will see that changes. Okay, fine. What he will do at the next line, he will say something like welcome to Git session or Git session, something like that. He will try to add this change into this file. Okay, and after that he will save this file, and then he will do the same stuff, git add index.html under his local. He has to do that, and he will say git commit -m, specify the message. What is that? First commit, or else I'll let me write down here because I don't have a space over here. So what the developer 2 will do, he will say just say git commit -m. Say that first commit from developer 2, specify the file name, and then he will say git push origin master. So once you push it, what happens that whatever the changes which the developer 2 has did, right, first the developer 1 has did the changes here, is pushed into the code here, right? So once he pushed to the code, or once he pushed into the Git server, what the Git server will maintain? Git server will maintain the index.html file, right, guys? HTML file with some commit ID 111, some commit ID. It will maintain it, because here once you did the Git commit, right, already what happened that a commit ID will be maintained by the locally, right? Like for the index.html, it will maintain a commit ID something 111. Correct. Now when it does the push, the same file along the commit ID will also be pushed to the Git server. Okay, fine. Now what the developer 2 will do? Developer 2 will do a Git pull of that file, and then he'll open the index.html. He has added more content to the file and he has saved it. He has did a git add index.html, and he did the git commit, and he has finally pushed it. Once he push it, what will happen that once he has pushed it, what happened, right? It will be pushed to the Git server here. Now under the Git server, what it will do that it will maintain again the same index.html file with the commit ID 222, guys, right? Correct, right? Because when it does the git commit, right, what it will do that it will do the commit within a local repository, but it will provide you the commit ID like 222. Correct. Now this index.html with the commit ID 222 is been pushed to the Git server, right, by the developer 2. Now what is happening is that actually when the conflict will happen, suppose assume that now the developer 1, he is having the index.html, but he's having the commit ID 11. It means that he could see that only one change, that is welcome to India, in his local file, but he doesn't know that already some other changes done by the developer 2 is already pushed into the Git server. He doesn't know it. So what he has to do, right, before he start writing any more changes to this index.html file, first he has to do a git pull, and then only he has to do the change, right? That is what the each and every developer have been told. So whenever the developer works it, he'll say the boss, before you start working on this file, first you do a fresh pull of git pull origin master. It means that who knows what are the other changes has been done by the developer, if they have pushed into the Git server, right? That changes also you have to incorporate it. But assume that the developer 1 has not did the git pull. He is directly editing that file, and now once he edited it, once he committed, he's trying to push into it. Then what happened that your Git server will reject that push actually. So whatever you are doing a push, right? Later, if you without doing a git pull, he's trying to do changes to index.html file, and once he completes it, when he's trying to push the change into the git server, now git server will reject that push. Actually, it will say that there's already a conflict. It means that what are the changes which you are pushing, right? It doesn't have an updated one. It means that because both the developers are doing the job onto the same file, right? Correct, right? So there is something like a conflict. So to avoid any kind of a conflict, first you have to do a git pull origin, and then you have to do the changes. But the developer one has forgotten to do a git pull, and then he has just edited that file itself, and then he will try to push it. It will try to fail it. So how to resolve? That is our agenda. How to resolve? How to resolve merge conflict? So that is what we need to learn now, actually. Okay. So now, so guys, can we reproduce the same thing, whatever I've been told here into our servers? Right? We will see these changes and then we will get to know about everything. Correct? Correct, right? Do you agree with me, guys? Right? So we have to reproduce the same
Yes,
thing,
Rajesh.
whatever we did. Yes. Now let us do one thing. Okay, let me remove all those files, sir, actually. Oh God, what has happened? Oh, sir, all the servers are gone down, sir. I don't know. Even though, okay, something has happened, sir. God. Okay, again I have to log in to the servers. Okay. I'll try to fix this issue, sir. Why it is? Okay, this is a Git server. Okay, this is a Git server, and this is your Git client one, or the developer one. Okay, and the developer two, or the client two. Okay, so I have a developer one, developer two, and the Git server. So let me do one thing, sir. Let me remove that project actually. Let me remove rm-rf/project actually. So here also let me remove the directories like code one, rm-rf/code1. So from the developer two also I'll remove the mkdir, sorry, not mkdir, rmdir, rm-rf/code2. So I have removed everything. Fine. Now, so let me go to the Git server. Let me create a fresh directory. I'll give the same name /project, or anything you can give. Okay, /project. So I'll say cd to the /project, and then say git init -fn bear. We know this very well. Correct, guys? Yes, we know very well. Okay, fine. Now I'll come back to the developer one. So I'll say mkdir/developer one. So we'll create a separate directory like this, cd to the /developer one, right? And he'll say git init. Same thing, what the developer two will do, he will create a directory by name /developer two, cd to the /developer two, and then say git init. Clear, guys? Till here we are okay, right? So what the developer git add and all, it's not required, but anyhow we will still say git remote add origin, okay, root @ specify the IP address of your git server, specify /project. Okay, I can do it, that's fine. Okay, now, so now what the developer one will do, he will create one file, sir. So what is the file name he will create? So he will create any file name, something like index.html file. So he'll say, welcome to India, something. Welcome to India. So save this file. Right now, you say git status. You know that it is under untracked file. So to make it under track, he'll say git add, specify the index.html file. Right now, now again you execute the git status. Now it show that it will show under the it shows that it is under track now. Now you need to commit it. To commit it, what the developer one will do, he'll say git commit -m first commit from developer one, and then say specify the file name index.html. Here, guys. So now what he'll do, he will do a git log. You know that actually it has created the first commit. It is showing you the log actually. So now what he will do, he will try to. So what I will do basically under the Git server, I will maintain a Git log, but I will make it under watch. So now nothing is there, nothing has been committed. Now you could see that actually the developer one, he is trying to commit it. So he will say git push origin master. Here, now it has been pushed. Now you could see in a Git server, you could see that okay, the first commit has come now. Okay, great. The first commit has come now. Great, fine. Now what the developer 2 will do, he will create a directory, everything blah blah, everything is over now. We have created, we have initialized also Git in it. Now what he will do, before he does any code, suppose he can even create a file index.html, he can also write, but he doesn't do that. He knows that already developer 1 has already written a code. So let me do a git pull origin master. So before doing that, he has to first clone it actually. Git clone root @ specify the IP address of your Git server, and he knows the project, it is under /project actually. So he has cloned it. See guys, once he has cloned it actually, once he has cloned it, he need not to do a git remote. The developer too need not to do a git remote, because once he has cloned it, right, it means that already he has established a connection to the server. Once he does the git clone, the developer too, he need not to run the git remote add. This is not required. See whatever we did here, right here. See, this command is not required for the developer too, because right, when he's doing a git clone will automatically do a connection between the Git server. That's what it is. Okay. So now come back to the developer too. So now he has did a git pull, right? The latest, clone he has did actually. And if you do a git cd project, we could see that there's an index.html file is there. Okay, this has the changes. Okay, what he will do now, let me do one thing, let me do a later, if there is any other other latest changes are there, let me check. If I do a git pull, okay, origin master, see, okay, nothing is already up to date. See, again you will say already up to date is there. Oh, it means that nothing is there. But if it does a git log, see, can you see that? See, whatever this server is having this commit ID, right? Because this is the commit ID of the developer one, right? So developer one, he did the commit, correct? If you execute git log, you see that this is the commit ID. The same commit ID, sir, he has pushed into the Git server. Now the same thing, the developer two has did a git clone actually. Now when he is executing the git log, actually you could see that the same commit ID which has been provided by the Git server, correct guys? It means the same commit whatever there that the Git server has provided to your developer two. It means that it has all the changes which is done by the developer one. Okay, you will understand. So by executing this command, the developer two will understand, okay, the first commit, what are the commit, the latest commit is there, right? That is been done by the developer one itself. Okay. So what he will do, he'll open the index.html file. Same thing, he will add one more line. Welcome to Git session. Change it and save this file, right? He will say git status. So it is modified now. Now he will say git commit -m first commit from developer 2. specify the index.html file. Okay. Now he will say git push origin master. See, he has pushed it. Now you could see that now you could see that the git server, okay, first commit is done by the developer 2. Oh, it means that he has got it. See, this is the commit ID of the developer 2, sir. See, when he executed the git commit, right, you could see that it has given you the commit ID. See, some commit ID 61ABC4C. See, 61BAB4C, like this. Okay, this is a commit ID. Even he can execute the git log command. See, if you execute git log command, see, it maintain internally. Okay, the first commit is done by the developer which I had. Now I have did the changes, and that is the commit ID. The same commit ID I have pushed into the main server or into the git server. Now you know that the developer one, now he has to do the code changes into the index.html. But this is the old code which is having, because already one more code has been pushed. The latest code has been pushed by the developer too. Now, if you start editing it without doing a code, without doing a git pull, then what will happen that it will create a conflict actually. So that's the reason what the developer will do before he does any changes to the index file. He will say that let me do a latest code pull. He'll say git pull origin master. Okay. Oh, now he knows that, okay, oh, something has been done. Okay, some changes were there already. Now it has been, you have got the latest changes now. Now when you do ls, when you do a index.html file, oh, now he'll get to know that, okay, this has been added, okay, by the developer one. How we'll get to know? He can even do a git log command. See, when he does a git log command, see, he has got the commit ID of the developer to whatever he has pushed from the git server. So this is the latest commit which has been provided to the developer one. Okay, let me do one thing. Now developer one, what will do, he'll say index.html file. Okay, no problem, sir. I will say welcome to Ansible session, or welcome to the Ansible. So we'll save this file. Right, now what we'll do, we'll say git status. Okay, changes are modified. Okay, git commit -m, second commit only, right? Second commit by developer one. Specify the index.html file. Okay, then you'll say git push origin master. He has pushed the code again back. Now you could see that, see, second commit by the developer one. Correct, sir? Correct, guys? Now, so now developer one has pushed the latest changes now. Similarly, what happened, right? The developer two, now he has to do changes to the file. But before the changes, he know the rule that before I do any kind of a changes, sir, I have to do a fresh git pull, because he might go for some break for 2 hours or 2 days or any number of days, right? Once he come back to the office, or once he come back to in front of a system, he has to always do a git pull, fresh pull he has to do. So let me do one thing. He will also do the git pull. Specify the origin master. Okay, fine. Oh, now he understood. Okay, some changes has already occurred, so that's the reason we're getting something like fast forward and all. Oh, okay, he'll get to know. So or else he will execute the command git log by himself. Or he will get to know the, okay, some commit has been done by the developer one. That's the second commit. Okay, I got the latest changes now. Okay, now what he will do, that he will add some line like welcome to Linux, and he will say enter. Again he will do a git status. So changes have been modified. He'll say git commit -m, second commit by developer 2, and specify the index.html file. Now we'll say git push origin master. Alright, guys. Now you could see that in the git server, see, the second commit which has been done by the developer has come now. Okay, fine. This is all fine. This is all good. Okay. Each one of these developers are doing their each commits, and they're nicely committing it. Fine. Now what will happen? Now the things will happen. Things will change now. Now the developer one, he has to do a code changes into the index.html file. Correct, guys? Now what will happen, that he has, the rule is that actually he has to always do a git pull. Correct? Before you do any changes to the file, he has to do a git pull master, origin master. But he will forget to do the changes. He will forget to run this command. what he will do, right? He will directly say, okay, open the file. He'll open directly, and he will just say, welcome to Unix, and he will save this file. Okay, he'll save this file, right? Now we will say git status. Okay, what is the status? Okay, it modified, fine. He'll say git commit -m third commit by developer1, and specify the index.html file. So he has did the third commit, right? Now you could see that even he got the commit ID also. He got the commit ID also because the third commit is developed by. So some commit ID is given for him in under his local machine. Okay, for the local repository, it has created it. Now what he will do, right? He will try to do a git push origin master. Now he will try to push the third commit changes to the Git server. Now you see what happens. See, it has rejected the commit. It means that basically your Git server has rejected the commit. It says that already there are some changes are there. So he is giving some hints. Example that, oh, you first do a code pull, git pull before pushing it again. Always see the fast forward and git push it everything. Updates were rejected because the remote contains work that you have did have not not have locally. This is usually caused by another repository pushing to the same reference. You may want to first integrate the remote changes. Example git pull. Okay, now he understood. Okay, I got to know that I didn't do a git pull at the beginning. Oh, some other new changes are already there. So now what to do? So what he will do that he will do a git pull. Guys, you're understanding, right? Whatever I'm saying.
Yes, Rajesh.
I hope that you are not out of track, right?
No, on track, Rajesh.
On track. Okay, thank you. So now what he will do, right? He will try to. He understood. Okay, I have forgotten to do a git pull. Actually, what he will do, he'll say git pull origin master. Okay, now it says that actually you could see that actually that there is an automatic merge has failed because already there's a conflict. There's a conflict between your file and the no pulled file actually. So what he will do that he will open the index.html. Okay, now you could see that actually okay. You could see that actually this is the commit ID, sir. B19777. If this guy doesn't know what is B1997, developer one, he can send a mail to the Git administrator and he can ask who has committed this B1977. What the Git administrator will do, no? He will go with the help of a Git log, right? He will try to see B19776 who has did it. Or B1970, oh, it is done by the developer two. Developer two is the author. So what happened? The developer one will try to contact to the developer two. He will say that hey, you have did these changes and all. So now what will happen that now what the user what he will say that what now it's a decided decision between the developer and developer two. So what the developer one has to do, developer one has to think whether both the codes you have to keep it or else should I remove the developer two code. So it is between them. They have to discuss and they have to decide that whether we need to keep the changes or not. So what the developer one will do that developer one will discard the changes done by the developer two. He will remove these changes. He'll remove these changes. He'll only keep his changes actually. So these are changes he did. He will save this file actually. He'll save this file. But now what happened, right? Because because he has did a code pull, so he need to recreate a new commit ID. So for doing that, he will say git commit -m. Okay. Third commit changes by developer one or by the developer one. Specify the index. But here also it will fail because it cannot do a partial commit because first you are doing it, you have to merge it actually. So you have to do a merge. For doing that, what he will do, right? He will say git commit -A -all. Now you could see that actually it's saying that there's a conflict of index.html file and the merge has to happen. So that's it. Then it's saying that merge from the master branch. So here you can either give your message also, like you can remove your message and you can write your own message, like, or else you can leave it as it, whatever the giving. I'm just leaving as it is. Okay, I'm not writing any message over here. I'll save this file. I'll save this file. Now you could see that if you do a git log, it has created one more commit, a new commit with the name something like a merge branch master. Right, guys? Now what he will do that he will do a git push origin master. See, he has did a git push of origin master. See, now this server has got these changes now. So to avoid any kind of a merge conflict, first you need to do a git pull. If you have forgotten to do a git pull, then what will happen? Then there's a problem that actually it will lead to a merge conflict. It might do an automatic merge, it might do, or some many times it doesn't do it. In that case, what happened? That you have to check by asking the developers like, okay, what is the code correct? You have to ask both the developers. Okay, which are the codes correct? Where I have to place it? Both the codes you have to keep it. You need to keep both the codes in the file. Or else if the developer one or the other developer say that no, you remove these lines, it is not required. You can manually remove in that file, and then you have to do again you have to do a commit actually. Once you do a commit, you have to do a push onto that. Guys, okay, guys. So this is what it is, guys. So you have to resolve the merge conflicts actually. Okay, so now what will happen that okay, fine, now the developer one has did it. Okay, the changes. Now the git log, you see the changes. Okay, it is there. The merge has been done, right? Now what developer one will do, developer two has to do a git pull, right? Because even he has to edit the file now. But assume that even he has forgotten to do a git pull actually. So what he will do that he will open the index.html file. Okay, he will open something like welcome to Bangalore something, and he will do a save all this file. Now again he will do a git status fine. He'll say git commit -m fourth third commit only, sorry, third commit by third only, right? Yeah, third commit by developer one, developer two, unspecified index.html file. He committed it. Now he will do a git push origin master. So again, the same thing. There is a merge conflict. It means that actually you need to first do a git pull. Then only you have to do a git push actually. So even he has forgotten. Oh, now he realized that I have to do a git pull. So he will do a git pull origin master. So it means that actually the merge conflict has failed now actually. So what he will do that he will open index.html file. So all these changes are there. Now he said, okay, these are the two changes which are these are the changes which are been done by the developer two, right? But this is the change which is done by the developer one earlier. Okay, now the developer two will decide, okay, let me keep all these changes, sir. I don't want to remove anything. So he will say, he will remove this, he will remove this, as well as he will remove this. Okay, I need all the changes, sir. He will save it actually. Then what will happen that he will do a git commit -a. Now you could see that it does a merging now. See, it does a merging now. Now it's say save the file.
Just a second, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Can you go back to that file git commit -a?
Hit the
Commit -a.
No, you have already committed it. I mean, you have already did it actually, sir. Now you have nothing to do over there.
Yeah, but if you give git commit -a, it will commit all the files, right? So
All the
actually,
files, yeah.
yeah. So it was it was redirecting to one of the file, right? After
Redirecting.
giving the git commit -a, it was taking us to a file content, correct?
It is taken. It is showing you that actually that because a fresh new commit has to be added.
Okay.
See, it is not allowing you to manually give it actually. Okay. When you do a git commit -a, a fresh new commit has to be added, sir. Now, if you execute git commit, if you execute git log, see, a fresh commit has been added. See,
Yes, I got it, but that content I wanted to understand in detail. So that's what. Can we add one more line in the file and try to give a commit again?
yeah, we can do it actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
that will
you
be
will,
helpful.
yeah, git push. Yeah, I will do it. Git push origin master. Now he'll push it actually. Now it will push will happen. Now in the git log, we could see that again the merge, whatever was done by the developer to write, see the merge branch has been done. Now, as you said, like we will do the same stuff. We'll come over here. Now we will not do any thing. We will not do a git pull index.html. I'll say that welcome to where? Welcome to Mumbai something. I'll
Okay.
do the changes. Now I'll say git commit -m fourth fourth commit by developer 1. Right now I'll say git push origin master. So obviously this will fail, right? Now I will do a git pull origin master. So no, wait. What I did, sir? Git
pull origin master.
Yeah, git pull origin master. Correct? No. Okay. Already up to date is there. Okay. I will open the index.html file. Oh, okay. It has did the auto merge, sir. Actually, because the changes whatever there was in the changes over there here. Okay. That's what it does in auto merge. Actually, this is a good example of showing auto merge. When it did a git pull, right? Already auto merge has happened. Actually, see, rebase has happened. Auto merge has happened. So there is no merge conflict here. Actually. Okay. So, okay, we'll do one thing, sir. We'll do it actually. Now, see, all these changes which is done by developer 2, right? It has auto merge actually. I'll do one more changes now. Welcome to which city, sir? Welcome to Patna, something. Let's say this file. I'll say git commit -m fifth commit by developer 1 and specify the index.html file. And then say git push origin master. Correct? So I pushed it. Now you could see that the git, you have a git fifth commit by the developer 1. This is there. Fine. I'll go to the developer 2. I'll say vi. I'll not do a git pull. I'll say index.html file. I'll say that welcome to Chennai. I'll say this file. I'll say git commit -m specify as a fifth commit by developer 2. Specify the file name. Now I'll say git push origin master. Right? This will fail. Right? Because there's a merge conflict. Right? Now what happened? I'll say git pull origin master. Right? Merge conflict failed. Right? Now I'll do one thing. I'll open the index.html file. So now what happened? You could see that actually he has added it actually. Right? So this was the stuff which was added by the developer 1, and these are already added by the developer 1. This is by the developer 2. So now what he'll do, he will say, I want all the changes, I will say. So he'll remove this line, and also he'll remove this line. Correct? Now we'll save this file. Correct? Now what will happen that I will do a git commit, okay, -m, okay, fifth commit or fifth merge commit by developer 2. Obviously, it will not take it. Why? Because that it will say that it does a partial commit during a merge. That's what it doesn't do. Hence, what you have to do that you have to do a git commit -a.
Okay. Yeah, this file I wanted to see. Yeah, one second.
See, this is what the modified file. Git update -fnref. Something it is doing. It is trying to do a git update reference because it has to create a new commit ID. So that's the reason. It is not allowing you to create it actually. See,
developer is it like it is telling us like after merge you will have new header?
New header. Correct. Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I will do the save actually. Once you do a save, what it will do, no, it will try to create a commit ID by itself actually. Now if you do a git log, now you could see that, see, it has created a commit ID. See?
Okay, merge commit ID. Okay.
Merge commit ID it has created. Now this merge commit ID only you have to do a push action. Git push.
Okay, got it. So actually I wanted to see that file content, so that's why I thought of doing it.
Okay. So now you could see that under this, you could see that there are a lot of commits are there. See, so many commits are there, right? So if you guys, you hope I hope that you understood whatever I did today. Correct?
Yeah, I'm good, Rajesh.
Okay. Now you could see that actually, I'm sorry, today we went across.
Yeah, around 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Now what you will do that actually, if you do a git log, right, it will show you all the logs actually. Even you can say git log all also, a all. It will show you all the logs. Okay. As well as I'm git log -fn one line. You know that I told you, right? You need not to see everything. See, you can see this nicely showcase, right? Right,
Yes.
where your head is pointing, and also shortcut of all your commit ID, right? Suppose you say that, Rajesh, I want to only see the developer once log only. I don't want to see everything. You can say git log -fn author and say developer one. See, developer one, author uh, developer one only, right? Or it is a small case. I don't know. Yeah. So this is what it is. So sorry, this is what the other name, developer one. So it is only showing you the developer one, sir. Right? You don't want to see any other any other logs actually. Similarly, you can even say developer two, like you know very well, right? Developer two, right? So you could even say that actually, like you can even give the dates also. Like for example, before that particular date. Suppose today is April 9th, right? Right. Okay. So you could say that actually I need to have all the log, okay, -fn before the date actually. Before the date means before, like today is what, 2020, April is nothing but March, April is nothing but 5th month. Before the before the before 10th of April, all logs I needed actually, like that. I think you have to give git log -fn before -fn help something. It will give a pattern range, sir, actually. Okay. You have to check it, sir. What is the time? You have to give this time only, like April 9, something you have to give the change, sir, like this. I'm not sure what is the pattern you have to give. Some pattern you have to give, sir. Before that particular date, what are the logs are there? You want to check. Even you can do an after also. Git log -fn after, like that also. Okay. And also, as I showed you, git log -p. It will show you all the changes which is done by each and every commit, right? That changes it will show you like this. Right? As well as if you want, you can even say git log -fn stat. It will show you all the changes everywhere, whatever the change happened, whichever line, right, or whichever files got changed, right, that also it will give you the information if you execute git log stat. Or else you can even show the graph view also, git log -fn graph, graph. It will show graphically where the merge happened, right, where the normal commit happened, right, like that. It will show very nicely where the fast forward happened, where the merge happened, that everything it will show in a nice manner if you execute the git log -fn graph. Clear, sir? So this is all about today's session, sir, actually. And tomorrow's session, we will be seeing about the Git branching. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So this you have to understand. This you have to get me the information, sir. You have to get me the answer tomorrow. This is exercise for you. Okay. And I've already given a link in the WhatsApp group. You go through that, you'll get to know. So tomorrow is Git day 4, and maybe I might take at the afternoon time, sir. Evening I have to go outside, so I'll take at the afternoon time. So tomorrow we will be understanding about the branching concept very well. So this is very important, sir. In interview also they'll be asking more about this merge conflict, as well as whatever we discussed today, merge conflict as well as branching, right? So these are the two important things in the Git they will ask. Okay. And as I have already sent you the Git cheat code, right? You have to download it and you have to see all the commands, sir. So some of the times they will ask you the command also, what is that command does, what that command does, or tell me the command. So you should be very, very, like you should have a It's not like you need to by heart the commands. Actually, if you start practicing few times, right, you will remember the command yourself. So you need not to by heart any commands. So, but anyhow, you have to go through that Git cheat sheet code also. We will get all kinds of commands, and you can take a printout and you can go through that commands also, right? So you should be very, very thorough in the commands also, because in the interview they'll ask you about the commands. Okay, guys. So that's all about for the today. So we will meet tomorrow. Probably it will be at around 1 o'clock. So some of you, are you okay with 1 o'clock, or because I need to go outside before 4 o'clock, sir? Before 4, I need to go outside. So that's the reason I just asked you. I can take it. I can even take it at 12 also, 12 to 1:30 tomorrow. Let's see, sir, how it will go. So the way we'll take it around 12 or 1 o'clock. It will be lunchtime, right? Or else if you need, I can take it from 2 to 3:30. I can take.
Or
So it's
shall
your
we take, yeah, or shall we take at night, or night will be also away?
night also. I'm okay. I don't have any issue. If you want it, but night means I will be coming home back at 8 o'clock night. So if you are agreeing with 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock also, I'm ready to take tomorrow.
Yeah, it's up to everyone. But after dinner, I feel like it should be fine, because even tomorrow, even I have some work at 12 o'clock, so probably I may not.
Okay, even I have a work at 12 o'clock. Post 12 o'clock, not sorry, post 3 o'clock, I have a work, sir. That's the reason I
Okay,
thought I will take a
okay,
session.
we'll see, Rajesh. As per your convenient time, we'll take.
No, I'm just telling now itself, actually, because if you're okay, I will take tomorrow 12 o'clock, or if you're agreeing, I can even take early morning. Tomorrow 10 o'clock also I can take morning. However you say. Or else we'll do one thing, sir. We will take it around when you will be free. Ashish, like when you're going outside.
Tomorrow morning, actually, I have to go. Let me stop recording.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. We have to stop the recording. Yeah.